Oh, Nitpick. The Legend of Zelda. A name merely whispered on the wind. Probably because it's so old and there are much better games out these days. But a legend, it so remains. No, seriously, it's in the title. Quit ruining this! This year marks the 30th anniversary for The Legend of Zelda. A series so revered and recognized it comes second only to Mario. In terms of adventuring, Zelda's not only set the standard multiple times, but to this day stands in a league of its own. And to honor my Nintendo gods, I've decided to finally crack this beast open and tear out its heart! Quick side note. Best title screen in music created in gaming history, ever. With NES games limited on cartridge space, stories were usually held within the game case instruction manuals. But, I don't have that. To be honest, I don't even know how I got this game. But my head is killing me! But forget the manual, our story's laid out right after the title screen. Many years ago, Prince Darkness Ganon stole one of the Triforce with power. Princess Zelda had one of the Triforce with wisdom. She divided it into 8 units to hide it from Ganon before she was captured. Go find the 8 units, Link, to save her. That's as proper as English gets, folks. And our journey begins. Whoa! Straight to the point. No mucking around. I like that in my men. From the very start, Zelda wants players to know that gameplay comes first. There's no ridiculously long intro cinematic or boring, repetitive tutorials. You just play. Crazy concept, right? Players are dropped onto a blank canvas where they can mess around, learn the controls, and get a sense for what the game is about without the threat of enemies. In fact, another wildly successful game used the exact same formula. Look familiar? If you're the type of person who breaks stuff when you get angry or refuse to accept help from others, stay far away from this one. But screw it, if we doing it right, you know what I'm saying? No strategy guide. Made a huge mistake. Heart containers to increase life, much needed rupees, dungeon entrances, and more are hidden in the most random spots with little to no help from the actual game on where to find them. In future Zeldas, when there's a secret in the overworld, it's marked in a specific way. Not Zelda 1! Hope you enjoy bombing every wall and burning every bush, you fuck! Maybe these NPCs will prove useful. Eastmost Peninsula is the secret. Huh. Grumble? Pay me for the door repair door repair? I burned down a bush to get in here! You trying to play coy with me? Dan? The hell are you doing up there?
Move along there, mate. This is my home now.
No, it isn't, Dan. We've been over this. Do I need to get the candle? I'll get it!
No, you won't. Move along. You're not man enough. I'm getting down.
Something horrible happened to this game in its journey to English. Almost every line of dialogue is stilted in some way or is completely incomprehensible. I like to imagine that Ganon cast a spell on the hapless denizens of Hyrule, causing them to go crazy and dwell in caves and trees. It's funny when you look at it that way, and less frustrating. Okay, so what is the first thing that comes to mind when someone mentions Zelda? Well, besides that, the puzzles! Link enters various dungeons throughout the overworld to fight enemies, collect items, and grab the final goodies at the end. Puzzles, combat, and exploration have always given definition to the core of Zelda games. Well, we have our little exception over there. Ain't he a peach? If you call what needs to be done in dungeons and sometimes the overworld a puzzle, you need to play yourself some more Zelda games. Situations usually boil down to one thing. Why can't I go to the next room? But instead of multiple answers to this question, we only have about 3. Bomb the wall, kill the enemies, or move a random block over one space. Why does Nintendo even try with this series? Anyone who says the first game isn't the best re-release the original game. Puzzle variants would have helped Zelda be a more diverse and interesting game. But it's almost as if Nintendo knew the puzzles were shoddy, so they did something else instead. Just throw shit tons of enemies in there! Woo!
Honey.
Yeah, I'll clean when I have time, Mom. Oh, hell no. Come on, Likey, not the pot again! But Nintendo even faltered in this area. A lot of rooms can just be waltzed through without any consequence, skipping enemies that in future games would have to be fought. Yep, don't even want to mess with them. Don't think that was intentional game design. The most impressive aspect to Zelda is Hyrule's layout. It's legitimately open world and entirely plausible to defeat the second to last dungeon before you even beat the first. Each temple holds a new item for you to pick up, such as the boomerang, raft, bow, and so on, but you don't have to beat the area they're held in for any story progression.
Well, Zelda 1 doesn't really have a story.
As long as you have the proper equipment, you can go anywhere you want in the overworld, except for the final dungeon where Ganon resides. That is the most awesome feature ever, and one that wasn't successfully replicated for a very long time in the series. Zelda feels like a true adventure when players can not only go anywhere they want, but risk a potential ass whooping for doing so. After turning Ganon into a pile of dust, literally, let me just... you save Zelda and... wow. Even with all the bad text localization, they still use the correct form of your.
We have no excuse. There's no excuse to be illiterate in America anymore. We're free!
Shut up, faggot!
Credits roll after a momentary seizure, and that's it.
I finally beat Legend of Zelda. No congratulations are needed.
There is an entire second quest with newly laid out dungeons, item locations, and more. Legend of Zelda is 2 games in 1.
This was before the internet was around to ruin every game's secrets. Pretty mind-blowing.
Of course, nowadays, completely changing everything around would take way too much time, money, and energy for how little would be gained from doing so. Instead, we get features like Hero Mode. Legend of Zelda is rewarding, but ambiguous. I wouldn't even recommend this game unless you have a strategy guide or are drawing out and marking your own maps. The lack of direction and crypticness can lead to some wall-punching situations. The entrance was in a bush? The fuck was I supposed to know that? The difficulty can be brutal, especially when you aren't someone who knows the location of every heart container and hidden rupee. But this leads to some edge-of-your-seat moments that aren't around in any other Zelda game.
Fuck!
Yeah, you want my advice?
Just give it a shot. You really won't know you like it till you try it. Like frog legs or octopus. Don't try those. Nitpick out.
Before anything else, I'd love to give a shout out to Daniel of Slope's Game Room, Wardog, and my good pal Travis of The Endorsement. You can read the description or click the icons to check them out, and I highly recommend you do. They all make great content. Thanks for watching all the way through another episode of Nitpick. While you're at it, you could always watch my top 10 annoying Zelda enemies or Pokemon Yellow videos for more fun. I also host a secondary channel, Nitpick Plus, if you want a little more of me. I'll catch you next time.
I'd like to leave you on the best note possible. So here you go.